the entrepreneurial curse of things just never being good enough. Welcome to the Domination show. I am your host, James Boardman, and if you are coming through, please do let me know on this Friday. Hope you got that Friday feeling, ready to go into the weekend to enjoy some personal space and time. So I've always struggled, and people will always say, anyone that's known me, that whatever I do is just never good enough, that I'm never going to be content or happy with what I've achieved. And it's so true, until recently. In my first year of business ever, when I first started in business, I was kind of forced into it. And I left my job and I was earning £6,000 a year. And I was going to lose the house. And in my first year of business, just through hard work and grit, by the end of the year, we took 106,000. And I went all in. And I was like, we completely changed my life for my kids. After a very, very difficult period of time, mentally and emotionally, put everything on the line and built this business up. But when I look at it, and I looked at myself after that year, it wasn't good enough. And like my friends couldn't understand it, and family couldn't understand it, but it just wasn't good enough. And I just never felt satisfied. And that's what the hunger was that we carried on striving for growth, for more passion, for bigger, scalable businesses, and it became an obsession. So that not being good enough became my obsession in my world. And it's good to have, some obsessions are good, like being obsessed with your family, being obsessed with work-life balance, being obsessed with your health. Like, I would argue that some of those things are good. But when you're obsessed because you're always chasing something, because you have the mentality that nothing's ever good enough, it can be quite dangerous. Because what it can do is it can blind you to your work-life balance. It can blind you to the things that you're neglecting. It can blind you to the fact that you can outgrow yourself in such a respect that actually you're not in a position to grow that fast. And then all of a sudden you've then got problems. And it can become the downfall of your business, which it almost was for me. One of the biggest things that changed for me with it not being good enough was my attitude to the perspective of what I wanted out of life, understanding what I wanted out of life, why I was running my business. And I knew that I wanted to just have a decent work-life balance. Time was my currency. Not money, time. I missed out time on my first big kids when I was in Afghanistan and getting away training for war. And this time, I wanted to make sure I was around for my little one. So when she was born, probably 4 years ago, it really put perspective on, it is good enough. I can be content. This is the life that I'm looking for. And it really just changed in terms of my perspective, in terms of my mindset, in terms of the growth of my business, that my business wasn't my all or nothing. It wasn't my life. It wasn't everything. It was just 1/4 of my life, along with personal development, health and relationships. And that if I never grew or lost another customer, where we were right now was good enough. So when I look at my growth and when I look at the growth of my business, yes, we want to grow, but I don't want to grow to the sacrifice of not seeing my kids. I don't want to grow to the sacrifice of stress. I don't want to grow to the sacrifice of being in a position where I can't actually run that fucking business. So perspective, reality is key. If I was a 25-year-old with no responsibilities, sure, I'd probably throw everything into my career and my business, build it up, set it on. but I'm not. And I think that's what's really, really important, to understand your circumstances. Who gets the raw end of the stick when things aren't good enough, so you continuously keep chasing that carrot? What are the sacrifices you make to your health, to your relationships, to your own personal development? And that, again, is perspective and key. Because a successful entrepreneur is one that knows what they want, not what they think they should have, not what they think they should have compared to other people. A successful entrepreneur is balanced and clear on what is enough. For me, that's my own personal opinion. Because when you know what you want, you've got the balance, you've got the clarity, you can run your business, enjoy your business, have passion for your business, grow your fucking business without being a burnt out mental and emotional wreck who's probably going to lose their family if they keep ignoring them, who's probably going to end up 2 or 3 stone overweight because they neglect their health. There's always a bigger picture. Everyone's all fucking diamonds and roses on the internet. Oh, come and earn your 6-figure business. You can do this, you can do that. But at what fucking cost? Just know what you want. Know what is good enough for you. Sometimes when I fucking moan and complain to myself that it's not good enough, or I slip back into that mentality, I remind myself that at the very start of this journey, I was fucking scraping the barrel. Absolutely scraping the barrel. And it reminds me how far I've come in this business. It reminds me how far I've come. That I couldn't even afford a fucking haircut when I first started this business. I couldn't even afford to buy food most of the time. And when you look back at how far you've come, you're like, fucking, it's enough. It's good. Keep growing, but at a steady rate. But don't forget, it's the bigger picture. It's just the bigger picture, guys. Listen, have a great weekend. Next week, I'm running some hot seats. Okay, if you're interested in a hot seat, next Friday, I'm going to sit down with you, help you manage out your business. I'm going to do a 1 in 6, like for 99 quid, fucking like cheap as chips for the value that you'll get. But I'll be talking more about that next week and letting you know. Have a great weekend.